Hello, Internet. So, what is the true purpose of education? Well, um, first let's take a look at a quote from Einstein. Let me get my little fancy holographic projector going. Ah, the significant problems we face today cannot be solved at the same level of intelligence that we used to create them. By Albert Einstein. So, what does that have to do with education? And by the way, you may have noticed in the last episode that I'm kind of stopped doing the regular intro for School Doesn't Teach. I feel that by this point, after an entire year of doing this series, it's kind of people get it. I hope. But anyways, the significant problems that we face today cannot be solved at the same level of intelligence or thinking that we used to create them. That means that in order to solve the problems we have today, we need to expand our thinking, expand our intelligence, or our problem-solving abilities. We need to grow. That's what education is all about. It's not about you learning more and more and more and more. I mean, that's what education is. That's the process of education. The result isn't that you know more, it's that you have more information to draw upon, to use for solving problems. It's life, basically. The whole like secret of life. I'm not talking about the meaning of life or the purpose of life or anything. The secret of life, the thing that life cannot exist without, is growth. All living things grow. And you may think, well, we start out as children, then we turn into adults, and that's growth. That's physical growth. We're not just physical beings. We have emotions, and we have intelligence. We need emotional growth and intellectual growth as well. That's where education comes in. That's where education is the purpose of education is to give us that emotional growth and the intellectual growth. And unfortunately, the education system doesn't do either, really. Pumps you full of facts and figures and trivia, most of which, I mean, literally, how many people out there have absolutely needed to know the capital of Colorado? Like right there on the spot. It's like you absolutely had to know the capital of Colorado because something necessitated it. That's trivia. You don't need that. That's something you look up. That's knowing it. Knowing it doesn't help you grow as a person. What I'm doing with a series is well, it's intended to help with the intellectual growth, maybe the emotional growth. I don't know. I'm an INTJ, so emotional growth is what? What is that? I don't know. I'm a little skewed to the intellectual over the emotional. Anyway, both are important. And yes, there's the physical growth. I mean, you have to take your health into consideration because you don't just stop growing when you become an adult. You have to take care of your diet and exercise and all that. Otherwise, you start to decay. There's another famous quote, and I have no idea who said this one. If you're not growing, you're dying. It was Tony Robbins. I heard it from Tony Robbins. I don't know if he's the one who said it. That's another thing that I feel like is a little trivial. Having to give people the proper credit for saying things. Isn't the knowledge and the information and the wisdom enough? I mean, who cares who said it if you can apply it to your life and get practical results? If you're not growing, you're dying. The practical result is hopefully you figure out how to grow rather than die. This is a quote from Einstein, essentially saying that to solve the problems we have today, we need to level up our thinking. We need to get better at thinking. We need to have some intellectual growth. Hopefully that motivates people to get some intellectual growth. And obviously there's also emotional growth. I mean, maybe you're not facing intellectual problems. Maybe you're facing like your relationship problems or family problems, or something like that, something emotional. You need emotional growth for that. That, bottom line, that is the true purpose of education, real education, not the education system that's all about teaching you to be a machine, to just follow instructions and regurgitate information. Real education is about emotional and intellectual and even physical growth. That's the purpose right there.